Hey everyone, it's Rainash30, and today I've gone through the evolution of Damian Wayne's Robin to recap all of his appearances in TV shows and movies. However, I'm excluding his appearances in the DC animated movie universe, as I've already made a video on it, which can be found in the top right corner. So, to find out how Damian has changed from
I am my father's son
to
I've killed more people than you'll ever meet.
Without any delay, let's begin. Batman, the Brave and the Bold. We begin with a fantasy tale written by Alfred Pennyworth. After Bruce married Selina and retired as Batman, he passed on the mantle to Dick and had a son named Damian. Rather than being born to Bruce and Talia, Damian grew up not seeking vengeance, but was taught everything about justice and Batman. Though Damian is trained to protect himself and others, he reveals his frustration when Bruce maps out his life for him as a future Dark Knight. While visiting a Batman museum, a man claiming to be the Joker's son attacks, but while Batman was able to rescue Damian, tragedy hits the Wayne family when Bruce and Selina die in the explosion. Filled with sorrow, Damian believes that he could have done something to save them if he was the son they wanted. Dick then comforts him by revealing that things are destined to happen and it was tragedy that made Bruce become Batman. Still doubting that he can live up to the legacy, when the Joker and his son return, Damian dons the Robin suit to fight Junior and help Batman save Gotham. After becoming Batman's partner in crime fighting,
Gotham needs a Batman, and Batman needs a Robin.
Young Damian rose above great tragedy and proved that his father lived on through him.
Damian eventually takes up the mantle and his son becomes Robin. Teen Titans Go. Then, in the rebooted series, while Damian doesn't physically appear in the show, it's worth mentioning an Easter egg that references him. In an episode titled Yearbook Madness, Beast Boy and Cyborg decide to create yearbooks for each of the Titans. Later that day, Robin returns to boast at the number of signatures he got until he glimpses over at Starfire's and is shocked at how many she has. As he begins reading some, we can see on this page that Damian Wayne signed it, writing, "If your thing with Robin doesn't work out, give me a call, you know the number," which of course is a reference to Dick Grayson's and Starfire's on and off relationship in the comics. Batman Unlimited, Mechs vs. Mutants. Now onto the final film of the Batman Unlimited trilogy. Damian embarrassingly reveals to Alfred that on his first night on patrol, he accidentally leapt off a building and Batman had to save him during a battle with the Joker. While he feels Batman is displeased with him, after continuously showing interest in driving, he uncomfortably wears a tux to a party where he chats with Oliver Queen about Batman's disappointment. While Ollie points out he isn't, they later respond to a break-in at Arkham.
Good work, Robin. We'll take it from here.
Gordon, you made it to Arkham quickly.
Kid, duck!
You crazy?
Do it now!
This guy wasn't in my holo book.
You're learning how to be a superhero from a book?
But Mr. Freeze and his companions escape. As they all try to find a pattern, it is Robin who uncovers that Mr. Freeze broke out specific supervillains because of their genetic composition. They later discover that because of Mr. Freeze's experiments, supervillains are now giants turning Gotham into the Arctic. When Batman needs some time to put his plan into motion, Robin finally gets his opportunity to drive, which he uses to stall Clayface. While Batman and Green Arrow take care of the other villains, Robin works with Mr. Freeze and the others to freeze the molten Clayface. Lego Justice League Gotham City Breakout. Now making his first Lego appearance, after Batman gives viewers a brief introduction of Damian, he and Batman capture the Penguin, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy. While failing to surprise Batman with the birthday party, Robin and the others give another surprise by taking him on vacation. However, while the rest of the Bat family go on vacation, Robin becomes furious for not being able to join them until Nightwing states that Batman wants him to stay behind to show Superman the ropes of protecting Gotham. After finishing his homework, though Robin is debriefed about Joker's escape from Arkham, he's forced to stay at home because it's a school night. While Superman unintentionally releases Arkham's inmates when attempting to catch the Joker, Robin rescues the League when they're captured.
Thanks for coming to save us, Robin.
You really are the boy wonder.
And helps them stop Gotham's supervillains.
Okay,
I'm going to help you clean up this mess. But just because some of our criminals don't have superpowers doesn't mean they're not super dangerous. They're unpredictable, diabolical, dangerous villains!
Batman Ninja. Now appearing in the anime-style film, when Gorilla Grodd activates his Quake engine, everyone at Arkham Asylum gets transported to feudal Japan. When Batman arrives 2 years later and regroups with the Bat family, Robin, in a feudal outfit, tells Batman that his friend Monkey G has a message from Gorilla Grodd.
Monkey G?
It's weird, but Robin's made friends with this monkey.
He's really pretty smart, and he understands everything I say.
What is it?
He says he got it from someone in the mountain.
After teaming up with Grodd, Robin and the others attack the Joker and his army to take back the Quake engine. While they stop the Joker, after Grodd double-crosses them, Robin and the Bat family decide to hide and master the ways of the ninja. A month later, when supervillains deploy their robotic castles to fight for control, Robin and the Bat family prepare for battle. When Grodd is defeated, Robin uses his flute to command his army of monkeys, which combines with bats to form the Bat God to battle the Joker's robot. With its defeat, after Robin stops Poison Ivy while the Bat family fights the other supervillains, he says goodbye to Monkey G and returns to the present. Lego Aquaman Rage of Atlantis. Then, appearing in another Lego film, after Ocean Master corrupts the citizens of Atlantis with rage thanks to Atrocitus, they send Atlanteans to attack the cities above. On the surface, we find Damian and Barbara taking the day off at the pier, though Damian doesn't show any enjoyment and continues to brood. After a brief discussion that Damian doesn't act like a normal kid,
this is why we took the day off from being Batgirl and Robin. You need to learn what it's like to be a normal kid.
I do kid things.
Like what? You don't play video games, stay up late past your bedtime. You don't even talk like a kid.
Do too.
Atlanteans invade the pier, so they quickly suit up to respond. While Robin shows more enthusiasm as a superhero than a civilian for fighting bad guys, Jessica Cruz arrives to help them when they're captured. As the Atlanteans later return to normal, Robin and the others discover that Atrocitus plans to take away all the Earth's water using a straw weapon, so they work with the Justice League to destroy it. DC Superhero Girls. Now he appears in the web series where Batgirl is ordered to babysit him. While he annoys her and tries to escape, he is insulted that he is forced to be watched over even though the League of Assassins raised him. As Batgirl wants to leave to help her friends instead of watching Damian, he eventually decides to sleep. However, after shadow creatures kidnap him, he awakens to escape quickly but begins critiquing his captors for being unoriginal.
Excellent. At least this knot will be somewhat of a challenge. Now, let's discuss appearances. While I'm not suggesting you don the mantle of a bat, I would recommend something more dramatic.
When Batgirl arrives to rescue him, she finds that Damian has the situation handled with the creatures tied up. After accepting her apology for stating they weren't friends, Damian agrees that she can tuck him in but doesn't promise he will fall asleep. Young Justice. Now appearing in the hit animated TV series, Damian appears in cameos rather than being a recurring character who will eventually become Batman's partner. While he never makes it of age to become Robin, in Season 3 on Infinity Island, the former home to the League of Shadows, he can be seen as a toddler cradled in Talia's arms. Then 2 years later, he appears in Season 4, where Talia still carries Damian, but now he's a bit more grown up and sports League of Shadows clothing.
I assume you have a good therapist lined up for your son.
He will not need one, unlike your daughter.
I did what was best for my girl.
What is best for my boy is to be by my side. I will never give Damian up.
With the series supposedly cancelled again at the end of Season 4, if the show were to ever return, Damian would eventually become Robin. Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. In the crossover film, Damian, in the shadows, spies on a meeting between Shredder and Ra's al Ghul before silently returning to the Batcave. However, when Damian finds Ninja Turtles in the cave, he fights them for intruding, but is ultimately pinned down. After Batman returns, and Damian reveals that Shredder allied with Ra's to use his Lazarus Pit to become immortal, when the Turtles take a pizza break, since Damian follows Batman without question, He's disappointed when he's ordered to work instead of having a slice. He and the others later respond to supervillains mutating in Arkham, where he and the Turtles battle a polar bear, Mr. Freeze. However, after Batman recovers from turning into a bat, he sends the Turtles home for refusing to follow his orders. Since Damian connects well with the Turtles, he convinces Batman that they should stay as they are valiant allies. So they head to Ace Chemicals, where they battle Raish and Shredder's army and stop their plot of turning Gotham into monsters.
Prepare to defend yourself with whatever formidable abilities you may possess.
I surrender. I don't even work for the Foot. I'm basically a hostage. Don't hit me.
You are a terrible disappointment.
Before the Turtles return to New York, Batman surprises them with pizza, and though Damian watches them with envy, Batman finally offers him a slice, which he immediately enjoys. Lego Batman Family Matters. Now making his final Lego appearance, after Damian gets excited to go on patrol, each member of the Bat family receives a mysterious note to meet in an alley. Despite Batman commanding Robin not to come to the location, he ignores his orders and joins the Bat family. After getting ambushed and Robin showing his enthusiasm for destroying robots, they learn that Red Hood has placed bombs around Gotham. Though Batman continues to overprotect Robin, as he fears he might become distant like Jason, Nightwing agrees to watch over him. On their way to disarm a bomb, they defeat the Penguin and Riddler, but are kidnapped by Red Hood. While they awaken unhurt in the Batcave, after Jason reveals he's Red Hood and releases them when he accepts Batman's apology, Two-Face unleashes OMAC drones on Gotham.
Don't say I'm gonna stay here, because I'm not going to. You've trained me to be the best, and how can I fight crime if you don't let me, fight crime?
I was going to say, you and the others will head into the city and keep the civilians out of harm's way.
Oh.
As Batman and Jason stop Two-Face, Robin and the others battle the drones and combine their vehicles to give them an advantage in defeating them. Harley Quinn. In Season 1 of the series, when Harley seeks a nemesis and hopes to get Batman's attention, Robin arrives instead to fight. While he's quickly taken care of, he later appears on live television where he makes up a story of how they had a huge battle where he won and Harley asked him to be her nemesis. As Harley tries her luck with Superman, Robin arrives again to fight, so she kidnaps him to prove he isn't her nemesis. After he gets exposed on live television and Batman rescues him from King Shark before he eats him, he has a heart-to-heart with Batman about nemesises.
I'm livid because everyone in Teen Titans is getting a nemesis except me.
I didn't have a nemesis until my late 20s.
Don't patronize me, Father. It's unbecoming.
You want your first nemesis to be special.
I suppose you're right, Father.
However, when Batman goes missing in Season 2, with crime rising, Robin temporarily takes on the mantle of Batman. As Batman later returns, Robin, in Season 3, aids the Bat family in stopping Firefly and is trapped with them in a death-defying escape room. We can also see through his appearances in the series that he continuously plays video games, unlike his average persona. Batman, Death in the Family. Now, moving on to the interactive film, viewers can choose alternate storylines of whether Jason Todd will die as Robin. If viewers select the option Robin cheats death, Batman discovers that he survived the explosion and takes him home to heal. Though, when Jason goes crazy and blames Batman for what happened to him, he leaves to become a version of Hush and begins his rampage of eliminating criminals. Subsequently after, Talia locates Jason and reveals her son Damian. While Jason is surprised as he read in Batman's file that their child died, Talia explains that she hid the truth about Damian so Bruce wouldn't have to choose between their families. She then asks Jason to raise Damian as a father figure, as she'll help him track and kill the Joker. While Jason agrees, he secretly plans to twist Damian's life to destroy the Wayne and Al Ghul families from the inside.
I'll take any path to Joker I can get, but the truth is, she had me at Damian, so the chance to twist that kid against Bruce and his mother? Oh, Damian, my brother. You're gonna be alright. I'm gonna get you all fixed up.
Injustice. Now appearing in the film based on the beloved game and comic series of the same name, we find him sparring with Nightwing in the Batcave. After being pissed for losing to him, he throws his baton when he isn't looking, which Superman catches before it hits him. Robin then thanks Superman for killing the Joker and later refuses to oppose his reign of stopping criminals.
Get in, Damian.
As long as we're going to help Superman burn Arkham to the ground. You're 13. How are you the darkest thing in this cave? Have you ever considered for a single second that you might be wrong, Father? Well, have you?
Since Damian has struggled with justice as the League of Assassins raised him, he stands with Superman, whom he sees as a mentor who will do what must be done. After shocking Batman and Nightwing at Arkham, things go awry when Robin continues to fight criminals who are beaten. While Nightwing insists that Robin doesn't fight the defenseless, Robin lashes out angrily and unintentionally kills him with his baton. Batman then believes Robin is irredeemable, but Robin puts that behind him and convinces Superman to ally with Ra's for his cause. However, when Robin realizes Ra's actual plan, he battles him in a duel, and though he falls short, Nightwing's ghost enters his body and helps him defeat Ra's. Batman and Superman, Battle of the Super Sons. We end with his final appearance in the film, also loosely based on the comic series of the same name. When Superman's son John gets his powers checked in the Batcave, he meets Damian Wayne. Secretly, Batman reveals that Damian has had trouble adjusting after what Ra's and Talia put him through. As Damian has trust issues, he pushes John off a cliff and throws a batarang at him to test his powers. But after he's dismissed, Wonder Girl informs him that the Titans don't want him on their team because he's violent and not a team player. Later, he discovers that Starro has controlled Batman, and as John is the only hero who isn't compromised, he saves him before he's infected. As they eventually head to the Watchtower to stop Starro, they defeat the controlled heroes and have an intense battle with their fathers. While both become good friends, when willing to sacrifice themselves to stop Starro,
All the ways to go. Definitely didn't see this one coming. Ninjas? Yes. Joker? Possibly. Crashing to Earth on a satellite while fighting off parasitic aliens? Not really on my radar. Nice to know you can be surprised.
Superman saves them, and Robin has a moment with Batman. After the Titans reconsider their vote, and Damian enjoys putting Wonder Girl off for later, he shows up for John's baseball game, and they later become the Super Sons. Now with the end of his evolution till he makes another appearance, comment down below which version of this Robin was your favorite. But make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for updates. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next evolution.